11 past 8 on Triple M. Here he is, Maxie.
Great to see you, Max.
Thank you for having me. 3 times I've been on and I haven't played a game in that little gap.
You're having a good little break.
Yeah.
You got 3 or 4 days off.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, what's today?
Monday.
So
We're
you're only
close.
48 hours away from bouncing a ball in anger.
Carb loading starts now.
Does it? What's your favourite carb load?
Bread.
You love
Bread.
a bagel, don't you?
Yeah, bagels.
Yeah, no.
Would you have a bolognese?
Yeah, pasta?
We've got history with bagels.
We
don't
do.
Yeah, well,
you made my
there's-
stomach upset.
There's been some dispute over whether or not you ate the gluten-free bagel and gave Lauren the normal bagel.
I don't think there's dispute.
I think it happened.
I mean, you did the right
Happened.
thing.
Yeah.
You got a gluten-free bagel
Yeah.
for Loz,
Yeah.
but then you accidentally might have eaten that one.
It was probably mislabeled.
Yeah, and to be fair, I never got told really about gluten free until the last minute. So
Yeah.
it was hard.
Yeah,
You panicked.
that is hard.
Yeah.
That's all right. It was worth it.
Yeah.
It was tasty.
William called the Brisbane Lions disaster up at the Gabba
Yep.
this weekend. I thought I'd play you some of that so you can hear Will in action.
Here it is.
Now with Jeremy Cameron too far out to score. Right foot tumbling kick towards the face of goal. Payne's down there for the Lions, but it shouldn't matter as Jack Bowes gets the Cats on the board. Out the back was Danaher, but it's brought to the front. Zorko, right foot outside of the right foot. Banana, it's bounced through. Can you believe it? Intercepted by Max Holmes, who goes on a canter. He's got Stengel with all the space in the world. It's 2-on-2 inside 50. He decides to take a wet bounce. Stengel running into an open goal, nails it. And they have kicked their first of the term.
Gee, you're good.
Well done, William.
So good.
I mean, he's made that sound like a good game of footy, and it wasn't.
No, canter.
Canter. That's good,
I've
isn't
never
it?
used canter in a sentence before.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't wait now.
Now that you mention it, might be the first time I have.
Horse people use it, but outside
Yeah,
of that,
the canter. Yeah.
well done,
Yeah.
because that was an awful game
That's
of
a-
football,
yeah, they've
and
given
the
it a time.
Lions look absolutely terrible. Whatever's happened in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
What's
Stays
the
in.
name of the bloke who's white?
telling.
Yeah, it's a disaster up
What's the wettest game you've played in? Do you remember?
North, like the northern states, when you get a wet game is bad.
Yeah.
I think we got a wet one in Cairns.
It's tropical.
Oh, Cairns rain.
As soon as there's one, I was watching the Brisbane Geelong game. In the first quarter, there was a couple of droplets of rain. I'm like, this game's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch this now.
Oh,
I turned over to the Derby, and the Derby, to be fair, was actually
Yeah.
a very good game to watch.
And the TV didn't really show the rain that well.
It was
like it was
sheets.
sheeting
Oh,
down.
15
And-
mil, I think.
TV commentators don't travel as much. Did they travel? I can't remember. But
Yeah, they're up there.
they were up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Darcy and Hodgie.
Yeah, it'd be a lot. Yeah, Das, good on him. He's a great man, Das. Are they playing his
is.
kid at Footscray yet?
Yeah, he's playing well.
Yeah,
He's a unicorn. He's
because he
good.
was in and out, wasn't he?
He had some injury issues.
Mm.
Was it late last year? But he started the year very well.
They've got a lot of tools.
Yeah, they do. Toby Greene and Jesse Hogan have both been, I like saying it like that, offered 1 week suspensions from the MRO for their respective incidents in the game versus Carlton. Max, did you see them?
Yeah, I know him well. Hogs is a great bloke, so he'll get off.
Has he done anything in the community? Is he a Meals
I'm
on
not sure
Wheels
if
guy?
he's been suspended. I doubt he has. I don't think I've ever.
So
seen
he'll
it
get
before.
off,
Yeah.
given his past record. Now that we've got a precedent set around old mate.
Toby's pushing uphill to.
I don't
Well,
think
he's a
he's
good bloke card.
William and I were looking at that. I don't know what he's supposed to do. He's
Yep.
trying to mark the footy, kept his eyes on the ball as far as I could tell. If he had marked the footy,
Yep.
what then?
This is the new sling tackle of 2012. The going for a mark and getting someone. It seems to be every year there's a new like tribunal decision where you're like, wow, that's out of the game now.
Yeah.
It feels like it's going for a mark and defending yourself a little bit. I mean, you're better off trying to spoil, I dare say, because you're probably not as tucked in with your shoulder.
Yeah, so for people who haven't seen it, there's a bloke backing into him.
Yep.
And Toby's running forward, leaves the ground, tries to mark, doesn't mark, braces himself, hits the bloke coming backwards.
When I watched it, I'm like, okay, he's suspended.
yeah.
So it's like my mind sort of turned to that now as well. But it split the change room yesterday.
Because the kick's intended for Toby Greene. It's from a teammate of his.
Yeah.
And Jordan Boyd's come back with the flight. Do you think someone coming back with the flight is taking a personal safety risk that should be weighed up in that debate?
Yeah, that's a can of worms that I reckon in like 10 years could be something that is a rule
Yeah.
going back with the flight.
God, if
don't
they
know.
take going back with the flight of the ball out of the game, what's left?
But Toby's copped it for the guy going back with the flight. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. He's paying the price for a guy who's going back with the flight of the footy.
Yeah, I don't know where that goes.
Well, this gives us a chance to mention Jonathan Brown's mark of the year.
Yeah, obviously, 2002.
Well,
Yeah.
we Jade Rawlings coached us for about 8 years, and he's on the other end of that.
Oh
Brownie
my
nearly
God.
knocked him out.
Yeah, Jade doesn't talk about it well. Like you think in history moments like that, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, he done like that moment."
Brownie was like a train. Mate, he could have killed someone.
Yeah, and Rewald's got a good one as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Rewald's got
yeah.
a belter.
Yeah.
He had a terrible concussion story. You remember that
Yes, yeah.
concussion story he told us? Did he share that on air?
No,
I think he wrote about it
No.
in his book.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. If
Uh,
you want to read it.
yeah, I might let that one go.
In his own
'cause
words.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
a bit-
sure whether that was a private conversation,
Yeah.
but he had a shocking one.
He's given the book the insights over the show.
Yeah.
Just like you,
That's
Matt.
why he's gone.
That's yours, mate. He didn't give us his teeth, which is good. Have you seen his teeth?
Yeah, we've talked about his teeth.
Mate, he's made a giant boo-boo there. It's like Nick's brought his teeth with him everywhere he goes. Has he named them?
I'm watching
He
Brownie.
looks worse than Chompers. And that's saying something.
He's not in Australia. Is he? He's not listening.
No,
No,
God, no.
he's not allowed to
Wrong
be in
time.
Australia.
Max Gawn with us. Shall we come back?
Yeah, please.
Live from the Triple M studios.
How's Wednesday's weather looking?
Wednesday. I haven't got that far ahead. Hang on, let me have a
I
look.
think there's a bit of drizzle.
There
Is
is.
there?
I know
Bit of
Thursday's going to
drizzle.
be wet.
Yes.
Anzac Day will be wet, will it?
Anzac Day, some showers. Yeah.
That won't stop 100,000 people from
God,
being at
No
the
way.
Well, my greatest memory of Anzac Day is Zarakis in the wet.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, shower 2 Wednesday, 16, shower 2 Thursday, 16, and same on Friday as well. Yeah.
How many will you get on the Wednesday night?
Richmond home game, which tends to help because they do
You
have
get 80 odd?
30,000 more
Oh, you'd
members.
push 90, wouldn't you?
Yeah, hopefully both set of fans turn up.
Mm.
It's a standalone game, and both teams haven't played for 10, 12 days, so
That roar in front of that size crowd must be amazing, Max.
it's very good.
Can you actually hear anything?
The loudest I've had, we played a prelim in 2018 against West Coast in West Coast, and we lost by 80 points. But the first quarter was so loud, so that stadium holds it in really well. And then that's now been trumped. Carlton kicking the goal against us in the final. That was I was in the middle of the oval doing a centre bounce, and I could feel the oval shaking.
Jeez.
That was
Wow.
that was crazy noise.
That is unbelievable. I mean, how are you communicating in those?
I mean, you're
sort-
just not.
You're not.
That's why we lost.
And
Okay.
umpiring decisions like stand, all of that, you just don't hear a word
That's
of it.
just out the window completely. But to be fair, umpires join in the party and don't really call much in
That's
the last
true.
3 minutes of
Yeah.
games.
You had 84 last year, for context,
84.
at the Anzac Eve game.
I'd hope for something similar.
Yeah.
Who's the dude that dropped on the ball, William?
Sam Draper.
Did you see that?
Yeah, rucks. I love rucks.
Drops on the ball.
Every
10
now and then-
seconds to go.
Like there's a few of us really trying to put in some good news stories for rucks, and then every now and then a ruck just brings it all the way back.
Yeah.
Someone said he was doing the worm.
Yeah.
It did look like he was going to do the
Yeah.
work.
said
I mean, he flopped on that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a free every day of the week.
Can you imagine if it did get paid though? I reckon we'd be
Oh.
talking about it the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
1 second to go, right in front, give it a text to win the game.
Yeah.
Jesus. Would have been a good story for Adelaide.
Yeah.
Harley Reid hype is reaching fever pitch in Perth. Back page of the West Australian. We tried to warn you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. He's appeared, I think, nearly 50 times now. On the
I'm
back page.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right on this wagon.
They
In,
need.
in like 4 or 5 years, I'm going to be over him, I dare say, because I
Sure.
reckon you'll probably have 2 Brownlows by then.
Mm.
But right now, I turned off the Brisbane game, the 2 finals contenders, to watch West Coast, who were in front by 60 the whole time, and it was enthralling watching. Like I was sitting on the edge of my seat,
Yeah.
just
Well-
watching Harley Reid.
William, when Hawthorn had kicked 9 straight against us,
Yeah.
William felt like that was the right time to send me a text saying that North have won one of their last 26,
Oh.
which was the one where we lost Harley Reid.
Yeah. They beat the Gold Coast and gave up Harley Reid.
Yeah.
Say that.
Oh, it's
yeah.
just facts.
I don't.
You didn't have to share it, though.
I know.
You could have kept it to yourself.
No, it's just facts.
Hindsight's a great thing, but at the time, I mean, I've been involved in a club that did that and got punished for it. And a lot of good people lost their jobs
Yeah.
for that. I would always say the win is better off. In this case, it doesn't look like it, but you don't know you don't know what the two boys that you got for
I reckon
pick
they're
2 and
both
3 are going to turn into.
No, I think they're both good.
It's way too early. I love
I reckon
snap
they-
judgments at round 6.
No, I agree, Max. I think those two young blokes are going to be great. But it was just that we'd had Hawthorn kick 9 straight, and William felt that was the time to tell me that we'd won one of our last
He's
26.
good like that.
Yeah.
What'd you say to Will?
I said I'm going to bash you, I think.
I said it's going to be 5th straight year of bottom 2.
Oh.
I said you
You
doubled
doubled down.
Providing
Yeah.
facts.
Wow.
Providing context.
Saw he was struggling. You said, stuff this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
again.
I said I'm calm now. We just missed 2 set shots.
You started well, didn't you?
Yeah, we kicked 2. The club is just I don't look. It's what's happening.
Again, snap judgments. It's round 6.
Yeah. People are calling for Clarko.
Yeah. Which is phenomenal.
Mm.
It's unbelievable.
There are better stories around if we.
Let's go through them.
Yes.
St Kilda got flogged by the Bulldogs.
Yep.
Ross Lyon will be talking all sorts of rubbish to cover up the fact that St Kilda look like they're having a full wobble at the moment.
What did you say about aliens when in their jumpers? And
23 aliens, yeah.
did you run with that again?
I don't think so.
Did he go the aliens again?
I don't know.
No.
Tight one. Adelaide Bombers, and of course Draper flopping on the ball in the last 10 seconds could have had a very different result had that free been given.
Yeah, I toe the line that everyone says that wasn't the decision that won Essendon the game. It looks like that because it's at the very end, but Essendon were probably the clear winners of that game.
Dominant, yeah.
Collingwood flogged Port 17-21
Yeah.
to 12-9. God, that could have been a cricket score.
Got to hand it to Collingwood fans. They had like 65,000
Yeah.
there at a time slot. It's pretty hard to get people round one in a lot of local football.
Where was it? When
At the
was
G,
it?
145.
Oh,
And they've
On
managed
a
to get
Saturday.
60 odd to a Collingwood Port game.
A lot of fans say that is their favourite time slot to go, though. It's
Oh.
the traditional.
It's my favourite to play. It just
Yeah.
would be tough with local footy, I dare say.
That's
it's
true.
hard with kids,
Yeah.
even basketball, all of that stuff, netball. Carlton GWS. Carlton got it done 17-15, 15-8. So probably flat as GWS, that scoreline.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think 3/4 time it might have been even-ish or close to even. So they kicked away in the last. Cripper was
Yeah, I
dominant.
know.
Miles.
Well, we were down by like 20 points when I was in an Uber, got to the pub, got a drink, sat down, and we were a point ahead. I was like, what just happened? What did I miss?
Mate, the boys are talking.
That's so hard.
I'm going to bash you.
Brisbane Geelong, possibly one of the worst games of footy I've ever seen. and
Called
the
extremely well, though.
Called extremely well. And
By Dars.
the wheels are off
Yeah.
in Brisbane. Whatever's happened in Vegas has torn that club apart.
Did you talk to Blackie for me?
He forgot to tell Blackie the Shanghai
And I
story.
said to he completely forgot.
For
He
those
gave
of
me
you
a
that
lift
don't,
to the hotel and everything.
really?
Oh,
He gave you a
my
lift.
God.
I
Yeah.
can see why he forgot. That's an
Yeah.
amazing moment.
Oh, I was
for sure.
starstruck.
What questions did you ask him?
I was asking about where his kids go to school.
Oh, yeah.
He's the world's loveliest, man.
When you missed that target in round 12, 2003,
Yeah, there was a bit of that going on.
For those
Oh,
of you
enough.
that didn't hear Max last week, he was a 19-year-old in one of the Chinese experiments in Shanghai, coming home from a nightclub, and Blackie at 4 a.m. was going out for a run drunk.
Yes. correct.
It's a wonderful story. And we said,
A bit I missed was he was topless as well.
Oh,
He was topless.
little bit of topless Chinese
Yeah,
gear.
yeah.
And you didn't ask him about it.
Well,
well,
sorry.
yeah,
Well,
next time.
yeah.
There'll be a
Yeah,
next time.
West Coast Freo. West Coast, I mean, they've just miraculously
2 in a
become
row.
a football team.
Yeah, I dare say they would have had a couple of drinks post the Richmond win, and they've backed it up, which leads me to think that maybe drinking post game is good.
Yes, I agree. I don't know why booze has been out of elite sport.
But yeah, the Reid was unbelievable, as I've said.
Sydney Gold Coast, Sydney just keep trucking along, don't they? God, John Longmire's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What he does with that team every
Culturally.
year.
I reckon they missed the finals in the COVID year, and that's the only one I can really remember.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
And then, of course, North Hawthorn. I mean, for the long-suffering North fans, it's hard to know. I mean, you have rebuilds, and then you have what's happening at North. I mean, this has gone beyond a rebuild now.
You know what I realised last night was 6 p.m. on a Sunday when the scoreline's 40 points between 17th and 18th. You're not watching that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you're really
great
not
result.
watching
No,
that.
you're turning it off.
And I love footy.
And I love footy too, and I love North, but it's very hard to watch them at the moment. And there's some really good footballers at North Melbourne. For whatever reason, they just cannot seem to piece together any continuity and any length of time around their play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add on this. I've been where North have been, and we've eventually got, in my career, I've been right down the bottom here and been able to win a flag as well. So hopefully just got the right people in charge. We had Todd Viney there when we made that resurrection as well.
And
so
Todd Viney looks really good.
he probably is the right person.
The club behind the scenes looks great.
He just got a tiny bit of pain.
Yeah.
Roosie in his first year with us, everyone always talks about Roosie was our. When he came, we got better. Our first year, we won 4 games with Roosie and got smacked in a lot of them. So it takes a while. Unfortunately, it does take a while for rebuild teams. But when you get there, when Larky's standing there holding a cup in 10 years, here we go. That was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years has it taken us to win 4 games, will you?
I don't have
You'd
that
have that
stat.
stat at hand, wouldn't you? I would have thought it'd be 4 years.
We were lucky. We had the Giants and Gold Coast in their first year when we were bad. So we had
true.
like a win there.
But then at the same time, they would have been taking picks off you as well
True, it
as
was
you're
a
trying
tough-
to
it was a-
rebuild.
It was a tough time to be bad. And now
Yeah.
Tassie coming in, it'll be a tough time to be. to be
Tassie
bad.
can stick it up their ass.
You won 10 games in 2019, but you haven't won more than 4 since in a season. I don't think that's helping things.
You did,
I don't think that's helping.
You did ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. I didn't expect an answer. That's the only time you've ever Googled anything in this studio. Max, lovely to see you. Go well on
Thanks for having
Wednesday.
me.